So thank you all for being here. This is our free community healing for September 2024. I'm so grateful for all of you that are here live to get this healing tonight. And you can also watch it on the replay and receive the same amount of healing. At the time that we're recording this, we just had a really beautiful full moon eclipse in Pisces. Everyone that knows me knows I'm not an astrologer. I just dabble. I know some amazing astrologers, so I don't got to worry about that. So what I do know is that because of the way astrology works, Pisces is placed differently in each of our charts. We each have it, but it's different for all of us, so it'll affect each of us a little bit differently. However, the full moon and the eclipse are one of those things that across the board have certain effects on all of us individually and collectively. So that is more what we're going to focus on. In just a few minutes, I will guide you guys into the healing space. I'll tell you quickly what we're going to do before we do it, and then we'll do it. So essentially, the way that we do our healings here, for anyone who is brand new to me, my name's Joy, Joyful Medium. There are at least a couple of other healers in here as well that I see. So I always feel like that magic mirror show on these where it's like, I spy with my little eye. So there are a couple low-key background healers hanging out that may or may not be lending their healing energy as we go. But essentially, I'm trained in the upper levels of Reiki, as well as trance healing and some other energetic forms of healing. So during the healing session, what you will receive is lots of Reiki, lots of auric field clearing and balancing, and chakra clearing and balancing, and really just an energetic shower that is in alignment with whatever your soul wants to receive in accordance with your highest and greatest good. So that is what I'm doing. I do often mix in a little bit of trance healing. From your end, really the basic result we're going for is just relaxation. Everyone is different, which is one of the amazing features of us as humans. So you will experience it different as an individual, but you also might experience it differently every time you receive healing. So what that could feel like besides relaxation is you might just let your mind drift and have like a mystical experience or a little dream-like experience. You might actually fall asleep and have a dream. That happens. You might feel warming or tingling in your physical body or around you. Those are all totally normal things. You might feel nothing at all. And that is also perfectly normal. So just try to let that busy mind go and just accept that you're receiving the healing that you most need as best as you can. And it's okay if you feel something or don't. In just a moment here, I'm going to guide you guys through a little visualization. You don't have to have any experience whatsoever for this. Just let yourself relax and follow where I take you. I use kind of interchangeably the words imagine or see or visualize or experience. So however you receive the experiences I'm describing, just like you would in any guided meditation, just go with it. If you're picturing something different than I'm describing, that's okay too. It's not a big deal. To be honest, a lot of healers don't do the meditation part. I just do it because I think it's a nice little way to get you guys relaxed and to put you in a little energetic container and get to do the healing. But please don't put pressure on yourself about the meditation, really is what I'm trying to say. So we'll go into a little guided meditation. I will have my eyes closed, but my video on the whole time. You guys are welcome to have videos on, videos off, whatever you like. Just follow where we go. I will let you know when I'm going to become quiet, but after I guide you into a space, I'll become quiet and then you will not hear me for probably about 20 minutes. Don't be alarmed, just let yourself relax. If you want to have your own soft music on, that is fine. You guys are all so well knowing that you have your mutes on, which is great. So if you want little music on for yourself, feel free. Like I said, I don't, and it is usually because not everyone's speakers work the same. And for some people, the music is like obnoxiously distracting. So I find even though quiet can feel uncomfortable for some, It's better than the screechy noise. So just let yourself be in quiet. If thoughts should come in, it's okay to just imagine letting them drift off like a feather on the wind. If that's not working, you can imagine putting them inside a little bubble and just pausing them for later. That usually works for me. If none of that is working, just try to come back as soon as you realize that you're making a list of some kind. Just kind of come back and put yourself back in the scene you were in. And worst case scenario, just take a nice little rest and know that you're receiving the healing. So after the little 20 minutes of quiet, you'll hear my voice again. I'll guide you back and put you back in your little space. And then sometimes I'll have something to say at the end and sometimes I won't. I won't know until I'm in there. And then we'll say our goodbyes and that'll be your healing for the month. So now that you know what's going to happen, let's get into it. So just start to find your physical space, adjust your volume if you need to. I'll try to keep my volume the same, but likely it probably gets a little quieter because I get relaxed myself over here. So as you start to find your physical space, just let your eyes gently rest closed. Sometimes we tend to slam them closed, but try to just let them flutter and rest closed. Good. And just start to say hello and check in with that physical body. Good. Feel your hips and how they might be situated, your lower limbs. Good. Check in with your low back. Make sure it's feeling comfortable. If anything needs to be adjusted or better supported. And you can move at any time during our session tonight, but it's nice to start from a comfortable place. And say hello to that breath, that gentle inhale and exhale. And no need to change or control your breathing. Just let it start to become more rhythmic, more relaxed, all on its own. Just start to notice it. And on your next exhale, just imagine relaxing your shoulders just a little bit more. Good. Continue to breathe as you continue to check in with that physical body. Good. Make sure your neck feels comfortable. Even imagine as you exhale, relaxing your ears. Good. And then let yourself start to become aware of that auric field, that personal space bubble that we're all in all the time. And as you say hello to that auric field, just with your intention, allow it to be just about an arm's distance on all sides of you. In front and back, side to side, above and below. Good. And let's just put a big, giant, white, fluffy rose out in front of you, about the size of, let's do a really big one, about the size of a hula hoop. Just imagine a big, giant, hula hoop-sized white rose out there. And with every exhale, just imagine your intention being to let go of anything that doesn't belong to you. Anything that's no longer serving you. Anything that's ready to go. And you might gently feel subtle shifting in your space. Sometimes I like to visualize it as dust, leaving my energy and going into that rose. Good. You don't even need to name or know what those things are. But if something comes to your awareness, just imagine releasing it and wishing it well. And just take a couple more breaths here. Really just releasing, almost like sweeping out your front doorway, whatever's ready to go. And we'll do a little bit of a deeper healing as we go. One nice, comfortable, big inhale and nice exhale. Just really releasing everything into that rose. And now imagine sending that rose up 1,000 feet in the air, letting it burst like fireworks, sizzling and fizzling, dissolving into nothing. Good. And then imagine a warm, comfortable golden light starting to fill into your bubble, into your auric field. Letting that light fill in any place where something is just left, but also letting it just surround you, envelop you. It feels comforting, nurturing, lightly grounding. Good. Imagine allowing that light to permeate all the layers of your auric field, but also imagine letting it permeate those layers of your skin all the way through, even letting your internal organs soak up that warm golden light. Imagine letting it spread out through all of your chakra systems, if that's within your learning or awareness. Even allow that light to filter in behind your back, that space behind your heart, and really start to feel even a light energy of love coming from that golden light. Let that light support you for our little journey, our little session tonight. Continuing to ease any discomforts in your physical body, to allow your mind to let go, be present, be relaxed, at ease, and really just holding you in comfort and safety in a nurturing way. Good. And now I just want you to imagine a light right on top of your head, representing that crown chakra, which is just an energy center. And just imagine starting to let your own awareness move into that space on top of your own head, just as if you were gonna climb right out and sit on your own top of head there. And letting yourself gently become aware of the room from that vantage point. Become aware of your physical body below. Safely comfortable in that golden light bubble. Good. And from this space, sitting in that crown on top of your head, I just want you to imagine out in the sky, out in the ethers, what was in our physical sky just last night as we're recording this. A giant, low-hanging, full, golden, rich moon. Good. That eclipse moon, even if we don't know what it is, when we see it hanging low in the sky, has a bit of a special energy to it, a bit of an interesting, unique quality that draws us to it. So just imagine that up there hanging in the dark night sky. Even if it's way out in the universe somewhere, the energy of it still remains, still echoing. I just want you to allow your awareness to be drawn slowly towards that moon. First, letting yourself move up into the corner of the room that you're in. Imagine that vantage point looking down over that space that you're in. And then slowly start to drift higher, maybe onto the rooftop where you are. Letting yourself see the cars below, trees. Drifting even higher, feeling gently, almost magnetically called towards that moon. Good. Drifting higher still to where you can see some of the bigger buildings in your town, the roads, cars looking smaller and smaller. Good. Moving further out into that night sky, comfortably and easily. And even imagine letting yourself turn towards that dark, starry night sky, visualizing that moon, rich, golden, and warm. And feel yourself gently being drawn closer and closer towards that eclipsed moon, reflecting the golden rays of the sun, till it's almost as though you have a comfortable seat gazing right at that moon, big and bright and curious in front of you, resting into that space, almost like there's a comfortable, cozy swing chair enveloping you right in that night sky. Maybe it's hanging off of a star, giving you the perfect view to bask in that reflected light off of this moon. And you might even start to feel a warmth on your face or the front of your body from this energetic light. And one thing that the full moon always represents is release, surrender, transition, letting go of what no longer serves us and letting it be washed away in the moonlight. So in that spirit, I just want you to imagine creating next to you, staring at this big, beautiful moon. Just create a little basket of some kind next to you. And if there's anything that you've been hanging on to, anything that you've been struggling to come to completion with, understand any necessary emotions to move forward with or from, anything that's been challenging you in this last little bit of time, just imagine placing it in that basket next to you. We're going to ask for a healing on whatever it is, as many things as you like as you're putting in this basket, so that you can release, heal, come to completion, move away from what's no longer serving you, or at least have clarity about it. Good. Just take another moment. Good. And now on the other side of you, I want you to create another basket, a second separate basket. The other thing that was represented last night is the eclipse. And one of the beautiful things about eclipses is they set us up for 6-month-long cycles in our journey. And when an eclipse comes with a full moon, we're releasing things so that we can be set up to be filled in our life, in our spirit, in our experience with the new phase of things that we're trying to create. So as you become aware of that basket that's empty right next to you, I just want you to have the intention that perhaps during this healing, something will appear in that basket. We'll check in with it at the end. You don't need to think about it or remember it. But just knowing that you're creating what you intend for this next 6-month cycle right now, in these days and moments and thoughts, and even the smallest of actions, you have the power to create what comes next. And let's let this basket represent that. And in just a moment, I'm going to become silent and work in your energy. And all you need to do is relax into the space that you're in, basking in the energy of this releasing and setting up this full moon eclipse, letting yourself feel or sense whatever you do, but really focusing on your own relaxing and receiving. And I'm going to become quiet. I'll bring you back in just about 20 minutes. Continue to breathe. As you hear the sound of my voice, just remember that space, relaxing in the glow of that rich, golden, full moon eclipse. And gently bring your awareness back to that basket where you placed your hope for the future. And let yourself become aware of a little ball of energy inside that basket. And just imagine scooping it up and putting it right up on your shoulder so that it can be like a little bird in your ear, just giving you inspiration, next steps, clarity, as you, in the next few days, sit with what you really want to create going forward for this next 6 months. What is your heart's truest desire? What do you wish to experience more of emotionally in your life? And just let that little energy ball rest right there. Good. And that other basket where we placed the challenges, just know that if there's any further clarity needed, any guidance needed, any additional steps needed to help you come to completion, that you have divine support to receive anything that you need. Just imagine leaving that there to continue to slowly dissolve so that it could be transmuted into something new and wonderful. But leave your blessings over it if you can, wishing it well, thanking it for the learning that it gave you the opportunity to receive in your life, and letting it go with gratitude and acceptance. Good. And now just gently start to imagine letting yourself drift softly, easily away from that moon, little by little, to where it starts getting just a little further away from you, moving softly back into the distance of that night sky. You might even slightly be able to still feel a gentle, energetic connection with it. That's okay. And as you move further and further and further away from that beautiful moon, imagine refocusing your awareness to where you are aware of the tops of the buildings, the lines of the streets, the cars down below, as you drift back gently, softly, even closer now to those trees, cars becoming more clear, just above your building now. And from that space near the top of your building, just letting yourself gently, easily slip back into the corner of that room. Gently aware of the light in that space, even with eyes closed. And then allowing your awareness to drift right back into that crown chakra, almost again seated right on top of your own head. And let's just take a moment here, breathing, getting the vantage point from just slightly above yourself. Good. Really just relaxing in. And when you're ready, just imagine slipping right back in behind your eyes. All of your awareness right back into that physical body, gently, comfortably, center of head. And as you start to remember that breath, that gentle inhale and exhale, just feel yourself really spreading out back into your body, really just anchoring back in. Feeling that body once again, knowing that you brought all of that healing back in with you. Good. And over the next hours and days and maybe even weeks, you may continue to receive inspiration, nudges, clarity, bits of knowing or understanding about yourself, your situations, what you truly desire going forward, and maybe more than that. Good. And from this place all the way back in your physical body, just really imagine anchoring yourself into present time and space, right in the place where you sit. Good. Remembering the day of the week that it is today, getting a sense of the temperature of the air around you. Good. Getting a sense of the light or darkness around you. Feeling all of your physical body again. Feeling the place where you're sitting. Remembering the space around you. Good. And with each breath, feeling more dense, but more alert, comfortable, at ease. And when you feel ready, you can gently stretch or move. And when you feel completely ready, you can gently start to blink your eyes easily, softly, coming all the way back to me. Hi, guys. See lots of everyone's pretty pictures now. I think you're mostly back. So if you wanted to, you could repeat something like that at other full moons or other eclipses, or anytime you're feeling ready to release. And when we release something, we want to fill in or give the opportunity to fill in with something else. So it's just good to know. Nothing bad happens if you don't. It's just nice to do. The universe doesn't love a void. So if something leaves, something else needs to fill. Best for us to choose what that is. So just over these next, kind of like I was saying, days and weeks, just be available for those soft nudges, that little bit of inspiration. Sometimes the inspiration or the nudge might be something like a truth that we kind of already know that we may be resisting. That can happen. And just sit with it. There's no need to do anything, but if you want a little extra homework with it, you can kind of sit in your own meditative space with that little ball of light on your shoulder and just let yourself start to dream and imagine over this next 6-month phase what might your heart truly desire. And it doesn't have to be a laundry list of tangible items, but I encourage you to make it more of a how do I want to feel, and how do I want to feel in my experience, and is it maybe that I'm wanting to cultivate more nourishing, supportive relationships, for example, and just making some notes for yourself. And then once you have that idea, I mean, you can always go back to it and add more. 6 months is a little bit in our time world. You can always then go back in subsequent meditations and just sit for next steps. So if there's, for the relationship example, if you're wanting to cultivate relationships, you might just ask Spirit or your highest self as you sit in meditation. You just have that intention of give me some guidance on how to do that, or some inspiration on how to do that. It often won't come in the meditation, but will often come in the hours and days following. So just make mental notes, or I like physical notes because my mental doesn't always mental. So make a little note for yourself when you do get those little nudges and inspirations, and watch how the universe lines up people and opportunities and options for you to choose or not choose. And if you notice yourself not choosing something that seems in alignment with what you thought you wanted, there's learning and healing to be had in that too. So pay attention to those moments too when you're resisting something you feel like you want. There's just some additional growth and healing, because that's part of why we're all here. So, well, I am so grateful to all of you for showing up for yourselves and for receiving. And I love being here with you. And big hugs and lots of love. And I will see you guys next month for our next.
Thank you.
Guys, talk to you soon.